Welcome to Local Living Tri-City, your go-to podcast for exploring the vibrant communities of Temecula, Murrieta, and Menifee. Join me, Liz Jones, as we dive into real estate insights and local business stories, bringing you closer to the heart of our Tri-City area. Let's get started with today's episode. Hey everyone, I'm Liz Jones with Local Living, and today I have a really special guest with me. This is Linda Lunn, and Linda and I go back a few years now. We know each other from Rotary Group and in the same club at Murrieta, the Monday lunch club. And then we've gotten to know each other, and I want to share with you guys Linda's heart. She works with Murrieta Valley School District as a school board member.
Yes, I'm on the school board.
Woohoo! So we're going to talk a little bit about that because I can tell you that there's so much interest of why Murrieta schools are superior to so many others in the state of California. And so we're going to touch on that, and I want people to get to know you, and so we'll have some fun.
Great.
First and foremost, maybe you can tell us a little bit about maybe how long you've been in the area, how you got involved with the school board, your passion for kids.
Well, my husband and my two daughters moved down here in 2008, so we got a great buy on a house. And my oldest started in preschool in 2009, and I just started volunteering in the classroom.
No kidding.
My parents are educators, my in-laws were educators, and I really wanted to be very, very involved in her education,
Nice.
Both of my girls' education. And what I found the more I did is that I wanted other parents to be involved. And that's my gig, is getting people involved. And community and parent involvement is key. We can't do it without parents.
Is that because you need bodies to help, or you need their emotional engagement in how their kids learn?
Their children need them. Their education is a team. It's the staff, it's parents, and it's students.
Wow.
And it just doesn't work otherwise.
Wow. Well, I love that. I love that. So how many years, that's 2008 when you came here, how many years you've served with the school board?
So I started serving the community 15 years ago as community leader, and started working through PTA, going from my local school side all the way to the state level.
Wow.
Started getting involved in the school district, different committees, task force, that kind of thing. And then many, many people encouraged me to apply for an appointment to the board when a board member stepped down.
Wow.
And I did. I was appointed unanimously out of 22 initial applicants and 19 interviews.
Wow.
And then I was elected in 2018 and ran unopposed in 2020.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
Right.
Well,
So
obviously people can see that your heart's there.
My
They
heart
must
is
know.
there.
Wow, that's incredible. So you've got a lot of background with the school board. Tell us a little bit about how a school board functions, why we have that board, and what that means to our community.
I'm so glad you asked me that, because there's a lot of misunderstanding.
Oh, I have no clue.
Right?
No clue.
School boards are citizen oversight.
Oh, okay.
Citizen oversight. We are average people from the community who are passionate about education, and we ask the questions that other average people in the community ask.
Wow.
So that we can get them answered. We do have a job description.
Sure.
We provide direction. We provide structure, support, accountability. Our number one job of those, that's four, but our number one job is the fifth one, and that's providing community leadership, supporting student education and public education.
Wow, that's great.
That's our job, student learning and achievement. Nothing else.
Wow.
Nothing else.
That's incredible. Well, I love it. So I would assume that any elected role comes with headaches. What is the process for somebody that wants to run for a school board member? Do they just say, I want to do it? Or are they a nominated position? Or how does that happen?
You just go up and file with the Registrar of Voters.
Oh.
You pull papers, fill them out, file, and then you start talking to people and say, please vote for me.
Wow. It's that simple.
Yeah, it really is.
But it's not that simple to get elected. Clearly, obviously, you had to be on a ballot, you had to be elected, and you had to serve, and then your peers know exactly how wonderful you are, or not for some, But at the same time, I think that it's really important that people understand that this is almost like a volunteer position, isn't it?
It is almost. I can tell you I make I think I get about $600 a month.
So it's a stipend.
Yeah, it's a stipend. And
So
that's
it's not about the money.
no, it's public information. We do have access to the insurance plan through
that's a Benny.
MBUSD. My husband's plan is great, so we didn't opt for that.
Yeah, but it's not about that.
But it's not about that. And $500 doesn't go anywhere
No,
over a month.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so
Well, and can I add one more thing?
please.
There's a great misunderstanding about what the paycheck is.
Paycheck, you mean like that $600 thing?
No,
Oh.
what the paycheck is. My paycheck is going and talking to students,
Oh.
talking to parents,
Your
talking to
benefits.
staff.
Oh, okay.
That is what fills my heart.
Oh.
Other
fill your cup.
people's paycheck is unfortunately trying to dictate to the community from the dais. It
Oh.
is heartbreaking, Liz.
Oh, not should be doing. So it sounds like we should focus on the kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, hello.
And- yeah.
Public education, K through 12. Let's talk about kids.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I actually serve on a board that is a non-stipend benefit, but through it, I've learned a lot about the inner makings. In this case, I serve on a hospital board. So we get to learn about healthcare. We get to learn about the problems, the economics, the people involved, the players, the hard work it is to keep things all moving parts.
Right.
Right? And I would assume the school board is doing exactly the same thing.
Effective board members do that.
Okay.
We educate ourselves. We get training. We go to some conferences, but mostly we talk to our staff.
Okay. Okay. Staff being like teachers and
From a 6-hour-a-week crossing guard to the 60-hour-a-week superintendent.
wow. So you pretty
Everyone in
much
between.
you inquire how's it going, what needs to change in our community, and you actively get involved in those.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And people email me, call me, text me all the time.
Wow.
I think there are 3 people in Murrieta who don't have my phone number. Honestly. And I love that part.
Oh, well, I would imagine then that as you gather that information, you take it back to a board meeting and then you discuss it and then you try to put in effective change if you have any power to do that as a board. Correct?
Actually, I start with the superintendent. And usually I learn a whole lot about whatever that issue is and what our options are. And I go back to the person who has spoken to me
Right.
and we get them plugged into the staff members that can help them within the district.
That's great. Okay, step back one second for the superintendent role. Tell me about that role. What is a school board superintendent? Is that like the CEO of a company,
Yes,
so to speak? Oh, okay. So
they run the entire district,
so whole district.
the whole district, 22 schools.
Wow. Okay. And then is he a member of your board as well, or does he he report to the board?
Both.
Oh.
He is considered part of the governance team,
Good.
but he does not vote as a board member.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he is our only employee.
Wow.
That's another common misconception.
Wow.
That school board members can tell teachers what to do, that we can hire and fire and discipline. We can't. We
Okay.
don't.
I never saw any board that I've been serving on have that kind of power either.
Absolutely not.
No, it is just like you say, oversight.
Oversight.
Yeah.
We have a fantastic HR department with an assistant superintendent of HR who is brilliant, is an expert, and I trust him with everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I've learned a lot about how the school board functions. I've learned about the superintendent. So tell me, what's different about Murrieta that people want to be here? Why are our schools different?
Oh, we need 4 hours for that. First of all, it's the MBUSD family. We are a family. I think you know that about our community,
I feel it.
right?
I feel it.
And what makes us different is that we don't accept anything but the best. We have the best employees. We have outstanding parents.
Wow.
It fills my heart to talk to parents and listen how committed they are, how involved they are. They know everything that their students are doing. Their students talk to them.
Wow.
That is the best part about this. Our parents know what's going on
In the
our
lives of
students'
their
lives.
kids. Right.
There
That
are no
is important.
secrets. There are no, I mean, my kids maybe didn't tell me every single thing, but
Right.
the important things, those get home.
Wow. You know, it's interesting as I think about all the districts and areas that Southern California covers, there's all different economic situations. Like I know that the workforce might, maybe have to go to an early job at 6 a.m., may have to drop their kids off at, a certain place, drop them at school, then come back late and pick them up. There's not a lot of time in that economic range to get involved in your kids' lives until after they're coming home, right? The goals with a parent, obviously, is to understand what's going on in the kids' lives, to pour into them, to help understand what's going on into homework, where the needs are for the kids, be able to pick up little signs of whether something's off in their lives, and then come to the school and share so that together you can help get everybody in line. And the kids can grow to be healthy and happy.
And we have a number of different ways to do that. We have technology, first of all. All of our parents have 24/7 access to their students' records.
Oh, I love that.
And it's a program, or it's an app, a platform called Aries.
Okay.
And you just, as a parent, you have a login and you can see classes, grades, homework assignments, what's been turned in, what hasn't.
I like that too.
Okay, as a parent, I've had to monitor some of that.
Me too. Me too.
You can see what activities the student is involved in. You have all the access to their teachers.
Wow.
Our teachers are terrific about returning emails.
I like it.
Anytime a parent has a question or a concern, shoot the teacher an email. That's one part, the technology that parents can access. And if parents are having problems accessing that, tell them to get a hold of me because I will get them in touch with someone who can walk them through it. I had to be walked through it.
Yeah, we all do once.
We all do, right? The other thing is we have so many different parent advisory councils that parents, yes, absolutely, that parents can get involved in. We have site council, which is parent driven at each school. We have PTAs, which is parent driven, obviously, at every single school. We have athletic booster clubs. We have band and drama booster clubs. There's many ways for parents to get involved, even if you can only do a couple hours on a weekend or every other weekend, or if you are a band parent and you're at the game from 4 until 10 on Friday, and then you go to a band competition all day Saturday.
Right.
There's everything in between.
Well, that's nice because it accommodates everybody's schedule.
It does, and we need every level of involvement.
Do you see, obviously we have a tiny clip of time here in Murrieta, but through your period of time, do you see more or less parent engagement over the last 10 years?
I'd like to say more, and here's why. Part of our LCAP, which is our Local Control and Accountability Program, we have to account for parent engagement. And we have to always be improving and getting more avenues.
We measure this.
We absolutely measure it. We have the data. It's not just anecdotal. We kind of feel like things are going good. No, it's all measured. It's all data.
Wow.
And we increase every single year.
Wow. That's incredible.
And I value that because
you're making decisions based on data, not based on gut.
Right.
Right.
And we're making decisions based on our parents who are involved.
That's true.
Who know where their kids are, who know what's going on with their kids, who know their kids' teachers.
Yeah.
And most of our parents are pretty good about that.
I like that.
I love it, yeah.
So I had the privilege of sitting through a couple of superintendent advisory.
Oh, yeah.
Those are wonderful. And I learned so much. I learned how you guys are tracking the demographics, the number of kids, the new housing that's coming here, whether or not your schools are overcrowded, whether or not your portables are too small, or just adding pre-K into the school system. All of that is blows my mind. And you guys were all tracking all of it and predicting into the future.
Yes.
And obviously, something that I know is not common knowledge that I learned is that funding often comes from the state level based on socioeconomic data, some of it, but we don't receive a lot of funding here in our beautiful area of Murrieta. That's what I heard.
We receive less than other areas.
Less than other areas.
And it is because we have a higher socioeconomic status. That is changing.
It is. So
it is.
Okay.
We're getting a more diverse.
It is. You're right. I mean, honestly.
Community.
Yeah. Honestly, there's such a diverse area.
I can tell you a little anecdote here. In my years in PTA, my last couple of years, what I was doing was chartering new PTAs at schools for the whole county. So a principal would call me and say, we want to start a PTA, and it's a 501c3, so it's a process, right?
Yeah.
And a school out at the Salton Sea called me and said, yeah, we have a meeting scheduled on Tuesday. Can you be here at 7:30 a.m.? And I said, well,
it's Salton Sea, 7:30 a.m.
I'm coming from Murrieta. That's a 2.5, 3 hour drive. And the principal said, yes, I know that. But our parents out here work 2 and 3 jobs. to keep a roof over their children's heads and to keep food in their tummies.
So you
And
be
this is when they can meet. And that kind of
it
gave
put it
me
in
a
perspective.
complete different perspective.
Yeah.
Why some schools get some more money than we do.
Others, right.
And I will point out, Liz, that even though we are one of the lowest funded, Corona, Norco, Temecula, and us, we're all kind of in the same socioeconomic status, one of the lower funded. We're the #1 school district in Riverside County.
Are we?
So it has
That's
not
awesome.
held us back.
No.
In 2018, we were named an exemplary California state school, which puts us in the top 2%. And we are, according to niche.com, top 2% in the nation.
Wow.
So we're doing okay. I mean, if they want to give us some more money, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And I advocate through the California School Board Association. I'm a delegate.
Right.
So I advocate at the state and at the national level with our national legislators advocating for public education. And almost all of that is surrounding funding.
Wow. That's terrific. So you're fighting a battle every day.
I am.
To see what we can get some more.
And
well, it seems like a team effort. I mean, obviously, Dr. Andrus was saying the same thing. Yeah, he's wonderful, right?
We hit a home run with that one.
Yeah, we really did. Yeah, he's quite an engaging, kind, caring individual, and he really cares deeply about the success of this school district and the kids.
And the #1 thing on his mind is student learning and achievement.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Every time.
That's awesome.
We always have to say, I have a very good friend on another board. She's on the Harupa board, my friend Karen Bradford. And she said, Linda, every single action you take, you have to say, how does this lead to a positive student educational outcome?
I like that.
Every single thing we work on has to have a positive student educational outcome.
I like that.
I love it. And that's my North Star, and that drives me.
Oh, that's great. Well, hopefully you and many others on the board feel the same way. Question I want to ask you. So what does the future hold for Murrieta? Let's project maybe 5-10 years. What are your short range goals for the board, and what are maybe the longer range goals for the board? So do they want to add another school? Do they want to get rid of portables? What is the focus for the next?
Yes and
yes.
We need to add another school, another K-8 on the west side of
K through
town.
8.
If you've driven up and down Jefferson, you can see all of the building, and there's other building going on all over.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
no funding.
Well, we wanted to put a bond onto the ballot in November, and 2 board members decided for the entire community that they could not vote on that.
So let's back up. Being in real estate, we see that show up on our tax bill, right?
Yeah.
So that's like what we used to say, Melrose. As a new community gets built, there's roads, there's lighting, there's all that, and that is a bond of money that's been purchased that then gets paid back over time, and each homeowner gets a small portion of that, and it goes on their tax bill. So that said, take a second and just explain what is the bond you were hoping to get onto the ballot this time, and what did it include?
A facilities bond.
A facilities. So in other words, to build more schools?
Right. And we have a bond that is maturing. I think that's the right word, at the end of December. So it's falling off, and this bond would simply take its place. So it represented no tax increase.
No increase.
And unfortunately,
it got killed.
120,000 people in Murrieta Valley do not get to vote.
Do not get to vote on it.
Because of a board decision.
Will you have another opportunity to stick it on the agenda?
We can try it again in 2026.
So you have to wait
2 more years.
2 more years.
Yep. But what that does is puts us back 10 years towards building a new school.
Because it takes a long time.
It does. And we were looking to start immediately building a new school. And we were figuring it would be done in about 5 years. We can't even start looking at it until 2032 now.
You know, it's interesting. I toured Murrieta Valley. That's where my kids went. And then I was able to Murrieta Vista. I went over there. And the difference in the classrooms was about 15, 18 years worth of wear and tear.
Yes.
So
a bond would have helped with some of that.
Yeah.
Updating that.
Yeah. Their science labs were
science labs
needed some help. So ultimately, I mean, between you and I, a young person may not know the difference until he walks into a really awesome school and says, wow, this looks really great.
I know.
They may not notice the difference.
Right.
But I know the teaching staff probably does notice the difference.
Our teachers know the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that the desks over time have been wear and tear. The property over time is wear and tear. Portables over time. I know the portables were designed to be temporary.
That's why they call them temporaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. So a great loss for this community.
A great loss. But not going to let that hold us back.
No,
It's not
I
gonna
didn't.
let us get it
Yeah,
done.
it sounds like you've got a whole plan. Okay, so with that, what's coming ahead of us? What do we need to look out for?
We are going to be redistricting,
Redistrict. So there's draw new lines.
draw new lines.
Wow.
So there are going to be
big.
families who were expecting to go from this elementary school to this middle school to this high school who
Wow.
potentially may not be doing that. Now, the good news is
Mhm.
we just sent out a parent survey. Everyone take the survey, please, because
Mhm.
I, as a board member, I'm looking for community input.
Okay.
What do our communities want to do?
Okay.
And we are having a company do it for us.
Okay.
They do this nationwide. It's called Woolpert.
Mhm.
They do this hundreds of times every year,
Mhm.
and they will help us coordinate what the community wants
Mhm.
with what we can do
Mhm.
to best serve the community.
I like it.
It's unfortunate
Mhm.
because we weren't going to have to do this until we had a new school built. And when you have a new school built, redistricting is easy because everybody wants to go to the new school, right? Unfortunately, now we're going to have to be looking at busing kids
Wow.
from one end of town probably to the other.
Now, why wouldn't they just choose the people that are closest to it? Just curiosity. Is that because it's unfair?
Well, that's what we're going to find out
Oh.
with the survey. I can't really answer that question right now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so up in the air.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, but no promises, that we don't have to go to split session or year-round school. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And some people who have had, when my kids were in school, we never did any of that. But I know that in the early 2000s, there are many people in this community who remember their children having to do split session, which is littles go to school from 7 to noon, and then the older kids go to school from noon to 5.
Miserable.
How do working families make that work?
Oh my gosh, that's an
Year-round school where they would go to school for 3 months and be off 1, 3 months, be off 1. How do working families make that work?
You bet.
But
Is this all because of overcrowding?
this is all because, we have
Because we have
people.
so many people
Mhm.
and only so many schools. So
Yep.
the rooms are overcrowded. So therefore they have to redistribute the
Right.
people.
Mhm. Yep.
So there's
And
a
with
lot.
all of the new building coming in,
Oh my gosh.
and the city of Murrieta has been brilliant. They have given us loads and loads and loads
Data.
and loads of data about what they're predicting, where the growth is going to be, what the age group, birth rate,
Oh Lord.
everything. And
You need more schools.
we need another school.
Yeah. At least one. How many elementary schools do we have?
We have
in Murrieta?
11,
11 elementary schools in Murrieta.
and we have 4 middles,
4 middles.
3 comprehensive high schools, and 1 alternative high school.
Okay. What's an alternative high school?
It's our Murrieta Canyon Academy. It's fabulous. It is independent study. It is for kids who the big high school experience just isn't what they need, where they need a smaller. There's, I think, about 300 kids at Murrieta Canyon Academy. They get a little more individual attention.
I love that.
Sometimes it's for kids maybe that need a little more help academically,
Wow.
maybe need a little help behaviorally. One of our star examples is we had a student who at 14 was recruited to a Spanish soccer team.
Wow. No kidding.
Yes, right here. And his family lived here and couldn't go with him.
Wow.
And the tutoring situation was something they weren't real happy with. So, and this was back when my kids were in middle school, so about 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Mhm.
And they said, could you work something out? And we said, yes. No one had any idea what we were doing. I think they were Skyping or FaceTiming. And we educated that child from 14 until he graduated with honors. He was super bright and a professional soccer player, but he graduated from Murrieta Valley because he went to MCA
Oh, wow.
and did independent study. And so his example, us working on that, helped us with the pandemic.
Oh, that's great. So
Working
you
at
learned
home.
how he does
We
it.
learned how he
and
did
then
it
applied-
and went from there.
And you guys, by the way, stellar job through the pandemic. And
Thank you.
really, really, it was well handled.
It was so hard on everybody,
Everybody.
but we have to move on now, Liz.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
and,
awesome.
and we have to say, gosh, that was hard and I got through.
Yeah, as
mean,
we do for
I'm
everything.
still standing.
Yeah.
You're still standing. The school district and all of the kids are still standing.
Yeah, that's a good news.
Right?
That's a good news.
It's great news.
I got one more program to
One
talk
more.
about. You introduced me to your adult transition program.
Yeah.
Tell everyone about that. That is just
Oh my
priceless.
gosh. This is one of the things that just makes my heart sing. I'm so glad you brought it up. ATP, which is Murrieta Summit. It is an actual whole school. It stands for Adult Transition Program. We are required to provide continuing ed services for our 18 to 22-year-old special needs students.
Wow.
And what that looks like is job training.
I love that.
Right? So we work with local community businesses to have our students, as they are able, oftentimes with an aide, to go in and do jobs.
I love it.
And our community businesses have been so supportive.
Oh, we love it.
So, for example, down at Abbott, who is one of our big employers for these students, our students put together boxes, tape together the boxes so that things are ready to go out and be shipped. And this is someone who there's a job that they'd have to pay someone minimum wage to do. We are able to pay our students through grants, so it costs the employer nothing.
I love it.
They are covered through our workman's comp, so there's no insurance concerns. If it doesn't work for one student, that's okay. If it doesn't work for the business, that's okay too. We tried, let's go try another one. We have locker rooms and complete laundry and showering facilities so that we can help the kids learn what it's like to show up to work on time in their uniform. It's ironed, it's laundered. We work with the kids just with life skills, going to Walmart and having $50 to spend. And what can you get for $50? Well, not everything.
Right.
So you have to learn to budget and make change. They have a great dry cleaning program for the entire district where employees, you do pay the dry cleaner you put a credit card on it. But for $2, you can leave all your dry cleaning at a certain location and these kids come and pick it up and it comes back beautiful, smelling terrifically, and all ironed and everything.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Wow, what a great program to allow these kids an opportunity to learn about how to go into the future and bring a skill with them.
And can I do a plug for Friday Coffee?
Yes.
9 a.m. every Friday, they have their coffee cart out, which you had joined me at. And they make coffee, hot tea, hot chocolate. They have crafts. They have snacks. Oftentimes, this is when I get really excited, they have propagated succulents.
Oh.
That you can buy. Yes, I have so many succulents in my backyard now, right? And that is all to support their PTA, but the students run the entire program, as you have seen. They take the orders, they make the coffee, they bring it out and serve it.
It's so cute.
9 a.m. every Friday.
And the location?
Right at the District Service Center.
Okay. And that's off of what road?
Off of McKelvey and Adams.
Okay, that's wonderful.
You'll see the easy ups.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, if you had to leave everyone with one thing that you want them to know about you or about the school board, about your heart, whatever, what would that one thing be today?
Oh my goodness.
I know it's a tough one. Sorry. Give you a second to think.
We.
We? In other words, everybody together, we?
That's what it's going to take.
So it will take a village to make this all work.
We have to do this. We working together will do this, can do this, and it will be better than before.
Woohoo! It always is better.
It always is.
If we have a focus on growth, it will always be better.
It will always be better.
Linda, thank you so much
Liz,
for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of Local Living. If you have any questions for Linda, we will make sure that we have her contact information below. She's eager to get feedback from you. So
I am.
Thank you so much for being part of
this. Thank you,
my
friend.
Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Until the next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Local Living Tri-City. Stay tuned for more insights and stories from Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, and surrounding areas. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend that is passionate about the Tri-City area as you are. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you next episode.